Okay, so I have some OChem 1 flashcards for you. These are focused on Chapter 8, Addition Reaction. So I recommend that you watch this video to do these flashcards just whenever you have a second. If you're at work and you're allowed to be on your phone in your downtime, if you're standing in line at the grocery store, whenever you're brushing your teeth, just whatever is short time you have to test yourself and remind yourself of these topics. Okay, first we have HBr and peroxide. So do you know what this adds? And also ask yourself the stereo and regiochemistry. Okay, so HBr with peroxides adds anti-Markovnikov, and it should give you a racemic mixture because the radical is sp2 hybridized. Okay, O3 with the double bond. Hopefully you remember what happens. I'll give you a second. It cleaves the double bond right down the middle and gives you two ketones. If there's a hydrogen, it just makes an aldehyde. If there's a methyl group or whatever else, it'll give you that R group. The other thing that does this is hot KMNO4, but it will keep oxidizing hydrogens. Okay, HBr without peroxides. Hopefully you remember what happens here. I'll give you a second. This adds H and Br. It adds Markovnikov, so you can see first the alkene attacks to give you a carbocation. Rearrangement could take place, and then the bromine attacks to add HBr. This will give you a racemic mixture because of the carbocation. It can add either from the top or the bottom. And you always have to look out for rearrangement when a carbocation forms. Okay, next we have HgOAc, THF, water, NaBH4, and NaOH. Hopefully you remember what this reaction does. I'll give you a second. This is oxymercuration, demercuration. It adds water across a double bond and it adds Markovnikov, but it doesn't undergo any kind of rearrangement. It'll give you a mixture of stereochemistry. You can see the OH adds to the more substituted side, the hydrogen to the less, and I have a whole video about Markovnikov if you need to go over that. Now this may look the same at first, but this actually has CH3OH instead of water. So do you remember what it does differently? It actually makes an ether. So this is kind of a review of chapter 11 as well. It does the same thing, gives you a mixture, a racemic mixture. It adds Markovnikov, but it doesn't give any rearrangement, but it has the methyl group instead of the alcohol. So instead of the OH there. So it's a little different. Next we have Br2 and CH3OH. Do you remember what this does? The alkene attacks the bromine, forming a brominium ion, and then the alcohol will come and attack on the more substituted side. So this is Markovnikov, and the addition is anti, not anti-Markovnikov, anti like one's a wedge, one's a dash. And I'm out of time, so in just a second, I'll start part 2.